And now, I suggest you start your relaxation session. When sounds or noises may be consciously perceived during the session, you will unconsciously strengthen your state of relaxation and well-being. You are pleasantly lying down, the legs straight, slightly apart, in a fan. Feet like ducks. The arms are extended at your sides, slightly apart. Palms turned towards the ground. The head well in the axis of the body, the chin pointed towards the ceiling. If necessary, you rectify your position so that it is pleasant. You are now in the supine position. You are reuniting your mental body here and now, your mind, your emotional body, your heart in your chest to your physical body, while a part of you is listening to my voice. You refocus by directing your thoughts, your emotions, on your physical body, and you become aware of the different parts of your body, without seeing them, without touching them, without moving them, thanks to the support points on the ground. I advise you to close your eyes, and you are quite at ease. Now you bring your consciousness to the level of one arm, the one you want. You can feel it thanks to the support points on the ground. You can imagine your hand. You see the thumb. You feel it. Then your index finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, and finally the little finger. You see your palm, the back of the hand. You become aware of your wrist. You take a tour of it. You now go up your forearm, up to the elbow. Then from the elbow to the shoulder. Be aware of your shoulder. We move on to the other arm. You can imagine this other arm in its entirety, thanks to the support points on the ground. And then as the other arm. Can you imagine your hand? You see the thumb, feel it. Then your index finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, and finally the little finger. You see your palm, the back of the hand. You become aware of your wrist. You take a tour of it. You now go up your forearm, up to the elbow, then from the elbow to the shoulder. Be aware of your shoulder. You will now become aware of a leg. You choose the one you want. You feel it in its entirety, thanks to the support points on the ground. You turn your attention to the foot in its entirety. Imagine your toes. We follow the sole of the foot, the heel. You visualize your ankle. You take a tour of it. Then you go up the shin to the knee. You can imagine your kneecap. Then you go up the thigh, of the knee up to the hip. We move on to the other leg. And then like the other leg, you feel it in its entirety, thanks to the support points on the ground. You turn your attention to the foot, in its entirety. Imagine your toes. We follow the sole of the foot, the heel. You visualize your ankle. You take a tour of it. Then you go up the shin to the knee. You can imagine your kneecap. Then you go up the thigh of the knee, up to the hip. You become aware of your pelvis, with your hips and your glutes that touch the ground. You visualize them. And you also visualize your sacrum, like a triangular tray, from which the vertebrae start, in the lower spine. This part is often tense, painful. To relax the sacrum, you hold it out by contracting your buttocks while inhaling through the nose. Then while exhaling in a calm and quiet way, you relax your buttocks, and your muscles relax at the same time as your sacrum. You become aware of your spine. like a pile of vertebrae, and you visualize them like little cubes, stacked on top of each other, and interspersed with discs. And while breathing quietly, you can imagine your 5 lumbar vertebrae starting from the sacrum and go up to the waist, then your 12 dorsal vertebrae, which go from the waist to the shoulders, and finally, your 7 cervical vertebrae, from the shoulders to the nape of the neck. And your entire back is supple and relaxed. And you get to the top of your column and your neck. And you become aware of your scalp. And you become aware of the top of your head. You become aware of your forehead. You make him laugh, relax it. You imagine it like a lake, calm and tranquil. And finally, your whole face becomes smooth, calm, quiet, relaxed. You lower your consciousness along your face to your chin. You become aware of your jaw, and you open it up to remove all tension from him. And if you wish, you can swallow your saliva. Then you quietly put your tongue on the lower teeth, and you can imagine your palate. You wear your conscience on your eyes. If the eyelids quiver or flicker, you let it happen. Then you place them quietly in front of your eyes, like the shutters in front of the window. You feel your nostrils opening and closing to the rhythm of your breathing, calm and tranquil. Then, you become aware of the breath by visualizing the path of the air that goes into the nostrils. You can give it a color that you imagine. Air enters through the nostrils. It warms up, gets moistened, arrives at the bottom of the gorge, goes through the trachea, descends and fills the lungs. Then on the exhale, in a calm and quiet way, the air rises, goes back into the trachea and the back of the throat, and comes out through the nostrils. On the inhale, the air enters through the nostrils, warms up, arrives at the bottom of the gorge, passes through the trachea, descends and fills our lungs. Then on the exhale, in a calm and quiet way, the air rises, go back into the trachea, the back of the throat, and comes out through the nostrils. For a few more moments, you can visualize the path of the air with the help of color. You can imagine your lungs. They inflate and deflate like a balloon, and gas exchanges occur. Oxygen attaches itself to red blood cells, and carbon dioxide comes out of the blood, goes through the lungs, and on the exhalation he comes out. You imagine the thorax as a shell. You carry your conscience to the pit of your stomach. You feel him move, and you become aware of the comings and goings. He goes up and he goes down, rises and lowers himself, inflates and deflates. Inhale the pit of the stomach, rises, swells. Climb up on the expiry. It's the opposite. The pit of the stomach is lowered, deflates, down. You check, and if it's backwards, you rectify. The inhale is active, the exhale is passive. It does itself, without thinking about it, by letting go. Now you'll imagine your diaphragm, that you visualize as a dome located under the coasts, towards the navel. He moves like a piston, from top to bottom, and from the bottom up. When it goes down to the feet, it sucks in air, causes the pit of the stomach to swell. When it goes back to the head, he expels the air, lowers the pit of the stomach, and the diaphragm goes down, sucks in air, dates back, and blows out the air. The pit of the stomach deflates. It's the exhalation. You can still imagine the back and forth of the diaphragm, like a piston that we draw on the inspire, and that we relax on the exhale. And you feel the harmony of your breathing. You bring your consciousness to the level of your diaphragm, below the chest, down the hills, and in the middle you imagine your solar plexus, which is a real nerve center. You imagine it as a marshalling yard, directly related to our emotions, often stretched or knotted. Thanks to your breathing through the diaphragm, you are going to massage your solar plexus, and these regular movements of the piston back and forth, from bottom to top and from top to bottom, come to massage this plexus, which blossoms little by little, spreads out like a flower, takes up all the space, like the rays of a golden sun. Then from the solar plexus gradually start beautiful waves. Waves of relaxation. Waves of well-being. They gradually spread to the whole body. Do you let them be invaded by relaxation, of well-being? And these beautiful waves of well-being start from the plexus with each exhalation. And little by little, well-being invades the whole body. You let him rock, to where, by these waves of well-being, which brings him benefits that settle in you for a long time after the session. As the minutes go by, hours and days that will follow, for a few moments more, you enjoy these moments of well-being, while simply getting used to the idea of leaving the state. You taste, enjoy these special moments that you will remember, and whose benefits you will take with you for the next minute. And now, even if it's difficult, even if you don't feel like it, you will gradually leave this state. Now you can slowly get back in touch at your own pace, with your body, then the room around you, and the outside world. You carry your conscience on one arm, one hand, then the other arm, and the other hand. You start to move the fingers of your hands. You carry your consciousness on one leg, a foot, then the other leg, the other foot. You start to move your toes. You roll your head on your shoulders. Now you stretch the whole body while always keeping your eyes closed. Every time you stretch, make big yawns, bigger and bigger, without putting his hand in front of his mouth. Then you can fold your legs and turn to the side. Enjoy a few more moments at your own pace. You will be able to open your eyes. And when you're ready, you can sit down.